This is 2.5 of algebra. So a literal equation is an equation that involves two or more variables. So far we've only been using equations where we have one variable. Now we're going to have two of them. Okay, so our first step is to rewrite them. So I will go through their problem as well up here, and then we'll do our own got it problem. So 10x plus 5y equals 80. And they want me to solve it for y. So I need to get y alone. So I'm going to try to get y over here and all of the everything else on the other side. So the first thing I need to get rid of is the 10x. We're going to treat this just as if we were solving an equation that only had one letter, right? If this was like 10 plus 5y, we'd get rid of the 10 first. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. So I get 5y is equal to, this 80 does not have an x on it, so I cannot combine them. So it is 80 minus 10x. Now I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides. I am allowed to split up that 5, so I can make that 80 divided by 5 minus 10 divided by 10x divided by 5. So I get y equals 16 minus 2x. So this is an equation where x is the number of pizzas and y is the number of sandwiches. And they want to know how many sandwiches can you buy if you buy 3 pizzas. So if I'm buying 3 pizzas, then x is equal to 3. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, and I'm going to plug in 3 for x. So I get y equals 16 minus 2 times 3, 16 minus 6, which is 10. So if I buy 3 pizzas, I can buy 10 sandwiches. They want me to do the same thing for 6 pizzas, so when x is 6. So y equals 16 minus 2x. Y equals 16 minus 2 times 6. 16 minus 2 times 6 is 12. So y is 4. So if I buy 6 pizzas, then I can buy 4 sandwiches. Okay, let's try our got it problem. 4 is equal to 2m minus 5n. Okay, they want me to solve this for m, so I need to try to get m alone. So I will make this my m side. The first thing I need to do is add 5n to both sides. The 4 and the 5, 4 is just a regular number, 5 has an n, so I can't combine them. And then I need to get rid of that 2, so I'll divide by 2. And I can split up that 2 to go to the 4 and to go to the 5n. So I get 2 plus 2.5 n equals m. And then they want to know what are the values for m when n is equal to negative 2, 0, and 2. So when n is equal to negative 2, my equation is 2 plus 2.5 n equals m. So I plug in negative 2. 2 plus 2.5 times negative 2 equals m. 2 plus negative 5. So m is negative 3. So when n is negative 2, m is negative 3. And then I'll plug in 0 for n. Two plus 2.5 times 0 equals m. 0 times anything is just 0, so I get 2 plus 0 equals m. So m is 2. And then finally I'll plug in n equals 2. Two plus 2.5 times 2 equals m. 2 plus 2.5 times 2 is 5. So I get m equals 7. Okay, we can also rearrange equations when we don't have any numbers involved at all, when it's all letters. So if I do their problem, ax minus bx equals c. Okay, pay attention to this one. This one is going to show up later, and it's a little bit tricky. We're going to undistribute. So I'm going to pull the x out front, and I'm left with a minus b. See how if I distributed back in, I'd get ax minus bx? And this is equal to c. Now I'm trying to get x alone. I'm solving for x. So I need to divide by a minus b. And I get x equals c over a minus b. If I solve our got it problem, I got negative t is equal to r plus px. And I'm solving for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract off that r. R and t are different. They cannot combine. So I got minus t, negative t minus r equals px. And then I'll divide both sides by p. I get negative t minus r over p equals x. If you want, you could split that p up, but we don't have to. We can leave it just like that. Here are some formulas. They're listed in your book for some of your homework problems. For example, here's when we would use it. What is the radius of a circle with circumference 64 feet? So first I'll take my equation for circumference, 2 pi r. I need to solve for the radius. So I need to divide off that 2 pi. 2 pi is just a number, so you can just divide it off together. So I get c over 2 pi is equal to r. Now I can plug in. I have a circumference of 64. So 64 divided by 2 pi equals r. Either on your calculator, you can use parentheses, or if we want, we can change that 2 pi into a decimal. So pi is 3.14. So when I multiply by 2, that turns into 6.28. And then 64 divided by 6.28 gives me 10.2. And that's in feet. Okay, we can try our got it problem over here. What is the height of a triangle that has an area of 24 inches squared and a base with a length of 8 inches? So area for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. I'm trying to find the height, so I'm going to try to get h alone. To get rid of this 1/2, when there's a fraction out front of our variable, that's when I multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm multiplying by 2 over 1. So I get 2a, and these fractions cancel off. So 2a equals bh. And then I'll divide by b so that I get h alone. So I get 2a over b equals h. Now I can plug in my numbers. So I'm told that my area is 24. And my base is 8. 2 times 24 is 48. And 48 divided by 8 is 6. So my height is 6 inches. We're going to skip over this problem, and there's your homework.